Okay, so I bought an '83 Porsche 944. It was on sale on Marketplace. I found it, went and looked at it, and did not buy it. But then I drove home, and the guy contacted me again and said, "What if you just give me like 5 beans for it?" And I said, "I can dig up 5 beans." So I went back, got this car, and pretty pumped about it. The paint job is not excellent, as you can see, and there's a couple years of dirt on it, so we'll clean it up and see what's underneath. The wheels are excellent. Anyway, I'm gonna get it off the trailer and we will start opening it up and check it out. So may have a little bit of a flat tire, but I think it should hold air, at least temporarily. Let's see. Yep. At least long enough to get us off the trailer. Listen. You can hear the ocean. Nice. Alright, so the brakes are a bit stuck. The back tire requires constant airing. So I'm going to recruit a helper to just help me push it. And then we'll let it down slow over there. Okay, I've recruited helpers to push.
Talk to the hand!
Thanks, yes. Aha, can't hit me now. Alright, so we're going to push it into place. It's going to use not horsepower, but kid power.
Kid power!
Okay, it is off the trailer. Figured I'd do a quick walk around on it. As you can see, it's got like a couple years of dirt kind of caked on the top. This is nice custom accent bumper. Probably not keeping that. Overall, I mean, it's filthy. I'm gonna clean it up as best I can. It definitely needs some paint, as you can see. I don't even think that mirrors for this car. Well, it is. It just looks like it came from something else. Spoiler's not that bad. It's a little crunchy, but it's still soft. So see how it'll clean up a little bit. Another custom spot right there. A little dent, custom body work. There's another dent right here. So I'll probably try to pull these out as best I can. This side is interesting to me. So it's like a layer of paint on top, and underneath, I've already done it down here, is the original paint. And the original paint looks pretty good. So currently not planning to do anything body work, though I am tempted to try to sand it and buff it out, and or try my own spray gun on it. Always wanted to, just never have, because it seems like a lot of work. But these wheels are like scuff free. I don't think they've ever seen a curb. Pretty awesome. Trim work somebody added, that'll be coming off. Really great shape. So the body is pretty rough, but we'll pop the hood here in a little bit and take a look underneath. The guy told me it was running a year ago. He had surgery, parked it, couldn't get in and out of it after that, so it just sat. And I see a few reasons underneath the hood why it wouldn't run, which will be pretty quick fix. I did drop a battery in it earlier, and it turns over. Most of the electronics work, but I'll pull the battery from this one here in a little bit and go through a couple more things. So now we are up, opened up a good bit. First of all, still got the insulation. Check that out. That's impressive. And the engine bay is pretty nice. Needs some cleaning up for sure, but everything's there. I think the owner said that, you know, it was running a little rough, and I mean, it could be these Bluetooth cables. You know, a couple of them are not attached. I don't think these work as good as, you know, just direct run cables that attach to your spark plugs. It's a little bit of an air gap, but that could be part of the problem. I think the regulator needs to be replaced too. So those things are not too difficult. We'll turn it over here in a bit. Pull the battery from the S2. It was happy to help out, so we'll test out a couple things there. So the brake reservoir almost completely dry, so I have to do bleeding, we'll have to check out our hoses and pads. Of course, zero coolant. So let's see if it holds or if it's leaking. Well, it's got some coolant in it actually. You can hear it. So coolant's still in the motor. These hoses actually feel pretty pliable. They're not stiff yet. It's a little different. I've not worked on the 83. I've had an 86, 944, and I've had the S2, and they're all just a little bit different. This one looks like there's a lot of space in here. It's kind of cool. Let's go inside. All right, so as you can see, driver's seat's seen some things. It's had better days. Steering wheel's pretty nice. The instrument panel, I love these gauges. I like the old retro. It's probably my favorite. I like the oval dash, but this is pretty cool. And look at that. That's all clean. It looks great. That seat is pretty good. The back seats, also pretty good. They're dirty, but they could probably be conditioned and brought back. Door panels look great. Interior, this little section back here is peeling back. That section over there is kind of, eh. There's the rearview mirror. I popped up the manual sunroof and that looked pretty good. Needs a new seal for sure. But it did open. So the hatch in the back. So right now I've got this thing doing its job. Let's see if I can move it. Yep, I can. So it's got the toolkit, a little crusty, so those will need to be sanded and polished to look good. Spare tire. It's actually in there. Looks pretty good. It's light hanging out. This side looks decent. Let me see if I can't get these to hold back up again. Oh, please. I'll probably edit this out. All right, we're back. So it's got a MagnaFlow exhaust system. So once we get it running, it'd be cool to hear that. There's a one spot of rust I found on this car, right here. Luckily, that's all I found so far. There's a little bit of surface rust. There's some dings. There's no rust on that, but that's the only spot that it's like, man, gonna have to treat that. Like I was saying earlier, the paint's kind of definitely a thing. I got this, I don't know what that is. What happened there? There's a story behind that. Looks like it's got a new fuel pump. Yeah, so some of this needs to be buttoned back up. Make it look nice and good. Got the manual. couple light bulbs, whatever that is. I've not gone through this car very thoroughly yet. Of course, it's got a cracked dash, as you can see. But this, well, that side's pretty, no, you can see it back in there. It's not as cracked as the 86 I had. But the little dash cover does wonders, makes it look great. Yeah. Need some new visors. But kind of, it's not as bad as I thought when I looked at it and walked away and then came back. So it'll be interesting to see, especially once we get it powered up again, what it does. Let's do some of the electronics. So, battery's in. It makes that buzzing noise, so that works. We get, let's see, headlights work. Yeah, it'll even try. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna have to push the battery on better, but I'll do that in a second, and we'll see if we can get it to turn over. Woohoo! I tested the mirrors earlier, so the mirrors work. I think the only thing that's not working is, oh, that's headlights working. The only thing that's not working is the power windows, so it's probably a fuse, because both of them are bad. Fan works. Listen to that. What is this? Is that another fan? I don't know what that is. Have to look into that. It's got an aftermarket radio. Kind of wish it had the original, but that also works. Tested it earlier. Fog lamps. Let's just test it just in case. It does work. Okay, so, well, doesn't want to go back up. It's going. It's slow. Alright, it worked. So it might be a motor in there. I've replaced one before. This one though, not working. So it could be switches, could be fuse. That's part of the fun, figuring out what the problem is. Alright, let's see if we can make it start. Or not start, but turn over. Alright, a little help from the battery booster here. My battery was a little bit exhausted from working the winch on the trailer, I think. And from sitting in the S2 for a little bit. So, maybe with some assistance that will crank up, or not crank, but turn over. Just want to hear it turn over. I've already checked the oil, and the oil is good. Yes, I'm saying, trying not to say oil, because my wife gives me a hard time for that. Oil is there, and I've tested it once already when I was checking it out, and it did turn over. Let's see if it'll do so now. Well, it's not wanting to do it, is it? There we go. Alright, yeah, so my battery just not that strong, and the leads are barely on the battery, so I really don't have a good connection. But it's turning over, and it was turning over better when I was testing it out. So I don't think it's going to take much. I think a good battery, some new leads, fuel regulator, some good maintenance in general. Got to drain that gas tank and get it running. Run some seafoam through it. Little mechanic in a bottle. I think that'll help us out. So pretty cool. So that's the first look. The 83 944. It is off the trailer, and it is in its spot where it's going to live for a little bit. My plan is to not keep this thing long. I'm keeping the S2. I just kind of want to get it running and then turn it over to someone else. So if one of you guys is interested in it, you know, wants it, I got it for just a handful of beans. Really not even a handful, like 5 beans, that's it. And so I had to get it. And it looks like a pretty decent car. It might clean up somewhat. I'll show you what it looks like when I get a chance to scrub a spot. All right, so last little piece of this video, quick rinse and a little scrubbing. Look at that. It's still red under there. There's definitely some chips. Definitely still needs paint. But look at the difference. And that is years of dirt. That's not even soap. That was just scrubbing with a rag, just getting the dirt off and then rinsing it real quick. So, never know. Could just needs a good bath, and then we can assess. You know, kind of wonder if this single stage paint, some of it may not come back. We could just touch it up, be good enough for now. Or, if you're a painter, just paint the whole thing. So anyway, that's the first day off the trailer with the 83 944. Starting a new adventure with it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.